Always wait for the Chinese opening. But it's morning again, and I'm playing on Fox. One of the most fond memories I've had is like waking up in college and just playing some Go in the morning. I don't know why. I don't know why that's a thing for me, and I don't know why that memory just keeps coming back to me. But I had a good time playing on Fox during college. Actually, it's not Fox. It was TiGem, because I don't think the Fox servers were even around, but it's very similar. There's barely any difference between these. Okay, so we have a very interesting setup here. Black is trying to gain all this territory. And White has this huge wall on the outside. I was thinking about what to protect there just now, before I realized it probably doesn't really even matter that much. Okay, now I believe this Hane is still extremely big, because there's a push at any time for White. And that means okay, so Black is really focused on reducing my Moyo, but after White Hanes, the Black's gain on the right side is very much reduced. I want to protect the corner, though. It's still relatively open. Yeah, so now I don't think Black gained too much from this upper right. So Black is, of course, reducing my Moyo with all of these moves, but if you just take a look at the right side, Black barely gains any substantial points. So Black's strategy is definitely incorrect here. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh wow. I can just keep pushing. Black can't even protect well. So that's what I was saying with the Hane. That's why the Hane, we say the Hane at the head of stones. Like, it's preventing the natural direction at which the stones are going. These types of Hanes, they're worth a lot. They're very significant because they turn the shape around, and they pretty much prevent the efficiency of that entire group that is being Haned. Yeah, so see how comfortable that is. How comfortable is that? I just got 4 stones smack in the middle of the board. And I'm just going to push this because I want to make sure my top territory is good. And eventually I'm going to actually Knight's move to continue pressuring this. And that will make full use of my 4 stone capture right there. I kind of want to do something in the middle here. It's not very good shape. I do want to make sure my base here on the left is intact. Okay. I think I'll just Hane under. If I Hane outside, I think Black can Hane into the 3-3 point, which didn't look too good. I think I'll just pull back. I don't want to. It's a very chicken move, but I didn't really want black to break in. Okay, now that I think about it, it's probably not a big deal, but yeah. Living in the corner here is definitely just pretty outrageous. It's like, okay, you want the 18 points, where I can just play here and it's worth 20. So that is very tiny, and not only that, black gives white a very big influence. Now the outside is about to break down into pieces. So this is definitely not a very good result for black. But not to mention, all of this on the right side is going to allow white to make very good use of having some strength and attack blacks. So what? Interesting. That's all I have to say about that. Interesting. Black saved that stone. Okay. It's definitely not the focus right now. It's like, okay, black can kill one stone to make one eye. I'm just gonna descend and protect against that. Yeah, so by turning, black had to live in Gote, and that's just gonna add to the multiple problems that black will have. And also after descending, the cut doesn't work anymore. So where is black gonna make the eyes? This group looks very dangerous, actually. Look at how solid the right side is. It's gonna be very hard for black to do anything substantial here. I'm just gonna peep that and then capture the two stones on the left. There's no monkey jump here because black can't get thrown in, so my territory here is also very solid. Jumping out here, just do a shoulder hit. Diagonal, interesting. I think I'm just gonna ignore that. There's not much value here, but there's a lot of value with the block. It pressures the black group, but also it activates some potential for white on the bottom. So black keeps protecting, then very soon black's not gonna have enough territory. Okay, let's jump this back. We'll keep attacking the group as a whole. The middle group is an absolute huge burden for black, and we don't even see any eyes yet. Unless black will keep trying to escape, but no matter how black plays, white will just keep benefiting in various places. I want to actually go inside right here. There are quite a bit of sente moves. And all these sente moves will poke all the eyes away, so Yeah, they're quite good Sente moves. Okay, so black is going to exchange these to ensure the connection, but they also make white stronger on the outside. Keep extending inside. Now there's a weakness. There's an obvious weakness now with the peep. It's very hard to make eyes. Should I? No, that's actually Gote for me. Okay, I'll just do a simple surround and we'll see how black tries to make this alive. It's gonna be very hard. So many Sente moves for white also. Now the peep is also Sente. Okay, we'll keep surrounding. At this point, it's not even needed for us to kill it, because also not only like white kept gaining from attacking, like the two students on the left, but white never lost anything. White kept all the base territory. Okay, white lost the corner, but in exchange for the left side, and now white keeps continuing to benefit. Like the block here is very big, the corner's now a lot smaller. So there's a bunch of problems now for black. This whole group in the middle really only has a Gote eye. I don't even see any easy way for black to make this alive. So not only there's a huge risk of dying, but white doesn't even need to kill. So black is actually cutting my groups off. I'm not sure what they're planning to do, because this dragon is just in the middle of dying, and they're very keen on saving their individual stones. So maybe we're gonna have to just kill it. We're just gonna have to kill it or something. Okay, we'll start poking away the eyes. Okay, this is definitely it. After black connects there, this is gonna die. We're gonna have to find an efficient way for us to protect the middle area. Okay, we're gonna go full on. We're gonna go for the empty, just to take away that extra half eye there. And there are no eyes in the middle here. Actually, even the Atari might be Gote because black forgot to exchange it beforehand. That's actually a possibility. It is a possibility, actually. That's quite interesting, but that's probably Okay, now we don't need that because now the middle eye is already false. So I can just connect back. There's no push for black because the 3 stones are in Atari afterwards. Another very violent game. We just keep slaying the opponent. Actually, if you notice in a lot of the games that we actually do succeed in killing a huge dragon, it's usually because we're doing it very indirectly. We're not just directly going for, oh, we're gonna kill this, kill this, kill this. Not only like that way your intentions are obvious, but also it's hard to kill something without setting it up first. Like if you don't make your group strong enough, your opponent will find ways to escape. I think my opponent just requested draw. But yeah, so when you're killing a group, make sure you're prepared. You're well prepared. You have to look for places where your opponent can make those eyes and then counter those moves. And that's really the only way. Killing a group is hard, but it is also quite rewarding when it happens. Now, it was interesting because my opponent kept requesting a draw, but the moderator came very quickly after I reported, and they just corrected the result. So that was a very pleasant moderator experience. I did go over here and I rolled a 2, so we're going to play the Kobayashi Opening next. And here we go. We got approached though, so we couldn't play the Kobayashi Opening, and we got approached twice. Okay. Let's attach. I feel like people don't really play the Avalanche as much anymore. I used to love that variation so much. And so a lot of people think that Avalanche is really complicated, but really it isn't. Especially the small avalanche is a very controllable sequence for black. So I highly recommend it if you want to try out a relatively more complex Joseki, but not ready for like the Taisha or the large avalanche yet. The small avalanche is a very good choice. It's just unfortunate that a lot of people don't play it anymore, so you don't really get to play that as much. So it looks like my opponent is a Moyo player, but they're really just taking very narrow sides, so that's not something I'm worried about at all. I think I can just Tanuki that. It's not a big deal capturing those 2 stones. I'm going to try out a move that my teacher taught me a long time ago. It's the opposite of the 3-3. Okay, looks like we're going to blitz through this game very quickly. So my teacher, who's an amateur player, he used to be really good at making us passionate about the game. Because first of all, when he when he did commentaries of or game reviews, he'd always be super passionate about whatever he's talking about. So that really inspired me to keep playing, and I think that that's a very important trait for good teachers, is you have to be really passionate about whatever you're teaching, and well, that's something that I tried to do better. Yeah, so he was really passionate about teaching us like new variations at the time, and this was one of them. It's the for 4-point. I don't know how this worked or what he would say about this, but well, I think it's fairly decent for black. These variations are always more complicated because they involve multiple groups, and also that means it's heavily dependent on what's around. But I think I did okay here. Okay, what's a bit annoying is that white has the turn in Sente. I should have made the push or something. So these always look a little bit messy because of how many groups there are on the board. Okay, so it is quite complicated because white is escaping, but my group here is also not super strong. Wow, white peeped here. That's just gonna help me connect, wouldn't it? So the big question is whether or not white can live on the left. That is hard to say. But regardless, I'm not very afraid of what white is trying to do because white's just attaching onto my groups just to make his group alive. But my groups are getting stronger as these exchanges happen. And yeah, they're just getting stronger by the move. Just gonna wedge through here. Oh, wait a minute. It's actually more complicated than I thought. Okay, there will inevitably be a capturing race of some sort because I got cut off here. But I think white is doing too much. I think white is asking for too much. The white group here is very dangerous. Okay, I am committed to this group though because locally I'm not alive either. So it's definitely very complicated now. So they definitely know quite a bit of Tetsuji, and I was expecting that move, but that was not a good move because it doesn't escape very well. Yep, so now I'm pretty happy with this because with white living locally, black has an indirect Sente on the bottom, and that's huge. Because now the black group is alive on the bottom, and black gets Sente to finish this left side. Now this is over because the Atari is Sente. Oh, I should Atari first just so that there are no other variations. Yeah, but now I just extend and protect everything. White definitely has to live in Gote. No matter what white does, it's going to be Gote. That's all I care about. Oh, this extend feels so big, but I think the upper side is bigger, so I'm gonna continue on the upper side. Yeah, so all of this was Sente. I managed to guard the right side, make all the groups alive, connect everything back, and gain this middle wall. So all very satisfying. Happy with this result. Yep, so at this point, it's not... These moves aren't really going to affect the game. Black is ahead by too much at this point. So this fight was really complicated, and that was the decider of the game. And I think the moves to note are... I think the counterattack. The counterattack was important. It made sure that Black had enough strength and got enough Sentes to make sure all the Black groups were safe. In these entangling fights, it's easy to forget about that, and then at some point you might end up forgetting about your groups, and then one of them might get cut off or killed. That happens a lot too. So the key thing is Sente. You want to make sure you have enough forcing moves and play aggressively enough to ensure that you're pressuring your opponent and getting moves that you want in return. And I apologize if my my commentary is a bit broken. It's a little bit early in the morning, so yeah. So this game was pretty straightforward after all of the fights have settled. It was very complicated before things settled, but now everything is extremely clear. White Tanuki again. I can just very solidly kill this upper right corner. Okay, so we will continue the game, I guess. Right now, the lower left 2-2 point is still huge. Huge move. But my opponent decides to play the... Oh, wait a minute. I'm the one who misread. Uh-huh. I misread here. I thought I was alive. Good one. I was the one who played too quickly. Oh, then this game might be a lot closer than I thought. But that's it. It's only a little bit closer than I thought. Interesting. White did not protect here. So this could still turn into a Seki. Especially with this type of corner, it's very hard to clean kill this type of corner. So I'm not sure why White Tanuki there. Maybe they thought I was dead already. But now this is definitely a Seki. Okay. Now this is interesting. Okay. Well, it's a ko, but ko is definitely good for me given that it would have been dead. So ko is good. It's actually a one-step ko. I actually have to start the ko. But always better than nothing. I'm a little bit... Just gotta respond properly here and be a bit more careful. I was a bit careless here in the lower left. Played very quickly there. Okay. I don't think I even need to respond here. Oh, well, we'll just make it a seki so things are safe. Okay, looks like white's still caught up with the ko. I'm just gonna play some... Oh, I'll just play the extension. This is very comfortable. Ko threat. I actually don't even need to be fighting the ko, but maybe we'll just give that to white. It's really not important at this point, but okay, well, I'll just keep capturing a little bit. Okay, so they did resign there because capturing that was not enough. So let us just look back at this life and death. This is a very nice Tsuji, but indeed it does not work. The reason why it worked is because I've made a mistake. Black should actually cut here at b15. As long as black plays there early, there's still the Atari from behind. Oh, white got Hane. Okay. Oh, okay, never mind. This is actually dead. Unless there's a clamp. Oh, the clamp works. That's very cool. This is an interesting life and death problem. If black clamps, white wouldn't be able to descend. Oh, my battery's running low. White wouldn't be able to descend. Let me just plug my laptop in. White can't descend because black will block in Sente and guarantee the eye. So this is at least a ko. But if white Hanes, black could Atari. And if white blocks, black could also block. So it's definitely not a clean death, but I made it a clean death because I played too quickly. So that was the story of the lower left. Okay, let's roll the next opening. And we're back to regular Chinese. That is going to be it for today. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it if you could drop a like. Stay tuned next week for pro game reviews. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.